Hi, so welcome back. We're going to go over some of my key comics now, and this is these are the Marvel books, and these are the DC, and these are the DC and Image books. Now, I didn't have many DC books in my collection, but what I've noticed is the books I've been getting lately have mostly been DC comics, and I don't know if that's well, I shouldn't say that. I've got picked up a lot of DC comics, and the only real Marvel comics that I'm getting are Spider-Man and X-Men comics. So I think I'd say um, it's been about a good half and half, but I've noticed I picked up a lot of so my DC collection has grown considerably. Um, and it's just because I think a lot of the books that Jim Lee has done in the past, in most recently, have been with DC. Also, I'm just kind of trying to collect some of the older Superman and Batman titles. So yeah, it's been fun to try to um, get comics on my wish list again. But there are comics here that we're going to try to determine whether I want to keep them in the PC or look to sell. So let's get to them. We'll start with, and I don't. This is something I think I can just kind of flip and show you. I don't have to necessarily pause the video real quick. I'll take this book out first. There we go. So we have this binder here. It's a beautiful binder of comics, and we're just going to start with the first book here. Yeah, Marvel Comics Presents. Now, this is a book I really wanted, and we're going to get this graded, but I think, so if this comes back at 9.8, I think it'd be worth selling. Yeah, I think it'd be worth selling. So if this comes back, now that's a tall order. What I've noticed is rarely do things, even though you expect them to come back at 9.8, rarely do they work out that way. And I know what most of you are thinking. Yeah, good luck, pal. That's, the odds of that happening are slim, right? But no, I really think this is a 9.8 worthy candidate. I mean, it's a really nice copy. It's going to need a press just to maybe get that, because these are sharp corners. It's just they don't look like they're sharp just because they've been sitting in a bag and pressed against other comics. So I think if we were to press this and get it really, and look at this spine, it's just a beautiful looking spine. There's just nothing on that spine that would indicate is that a spine tick right there? No, I think that's part of the, oh, that may be a spine tick right there. That may be enough to take us out of the, yeah, that's a spine tick. Well, there goes the 9.8. This will, in all likelihood, come back. It's the ever so slightest spine tick, though, but that's enough to knock it down, knock it out of 9.8 contention. And that is a spine tick. You can't really see it just looking at the comic, but when you magnify it like that on the phone, yeah. But I mean, beautiful copy nonetheless. This will definitely come back in 9.6, I think. At which point do I keep it for the PC? Because I do love Wolverine. He's one of my favorite characters, and I think this origin story, it's a really great comic. The whole run is a great, a pretty great piece run by Barry Windsor Smith. Great art, great story. It's just one of those, like, you know, it's not your prototypical comic book story. It's really set up like a modern comic. Yeah, so we're debating. Now, if I do, this is the thing, if I do keep this in the PC, I want to keep the entire Weapon X run in my collection then. And I have, I think it's a, what is it? It's a 11 issue or 12 issue run. And I'm missing 3 of those issues. I have like 9 of the 12. So yeah, it's something we'll just have to see what this grades at. If it comes back like 9.6 or 9.8, I may want to sell it, just bundle it up with the other, and just kind of pick up those other books and just sell it as like a slab / complete run, because I think that can fetch a pretty penny then. This I'm going to keep. This is actually a comic I used to have back in the day. I got this at Half Price Books. I was thinking of getting more copies of this, like a nicer copy. But I couldn't really find it. I mean, I wasn't really actively looking for it, but I didn't run across it at the con, so we may pick up more copies of this, maybe a newsstand edition, but this is definitely just a cool cover. And again, it's sort of a retelling of Giant Size X-Men. So definitely like a classic book. Put that to the side there. Let's see here. The next book we have is Jubilee's first appearance. I've got 2 copies of this now. Both are similar in grade, so when we submit them for grading, we will keep the one that has the better grade and the wider pages. Again, 2 copies, and we'll sell the other one. So right now, the nice thing is I had this since I pretty much had this in my collection since it was released. It's a fairly high grade copy, but I also picked up another really high grade copy for like $20. And right now, this is a very hot comic. I think it's gone up in price quite, just because Jubilee is, I think there's going to be a lot of potential for her in the MCU. She's just a really beloved character. I can see a lot of, and right now, in fact, I think she's not really a mutant. She's become a vampire, from my understanding. So there's a question of whether they'll keep her as, the Jubilee we know, or, transition her into some kind of vampire storyline. Because I know all indications look to like they're gonna introduce, characters like Werewolf by Night, Blade, Dracula, and all these sort of horror type characters. And so who knows? Jubilee might have um, some prominence in that. And so if that ends up happening, that book will really shoot up. I'm gonna keep this. We're trying to. I think anything from this era that's Liefeld, Lee, and McFarlane is what I'm trying to collect. I love this Mike Zeck cover. These G.I. Joe Storm Shadow covers are definitely just things I'm trying to collect. This is, I think a lot of people are looking for this comic, and I saw a lot of copies of this at the con, and they were selling for about $15. Luckily, I picked up mine for $8. It's a clean copy. This I will probably end up selling. We'll get this graded, and we'll sell it. I'm not a big Deadpool fan. This is probably something I would sell too. Although the Capullo art on this is really, and this is a 9.8 potential. I think it has 9.8 potential. It's really high grade. So we'll just have to see how these, the question is whether to grade. This one will get graded. This one we will grade. These other books, at some point, I hope to get this book graded here. But again, we'll just have to see. This book, we may just get graded for the purpose of selling. But it is a great cover. These Spider-Man issues, this 400, I'll keep number 400. That's a key. I'm going to keep this one as well. I'm going to keep this one. These are just covers I really like. I'll keep this one. Anything McFarlane Spider-Man, we're going to try to add to the PC. That's getting to be quite a challenge, though. So yeah, those are some of the books from my Marvel. When we come back, we'll hit the DC.